All right. Hey, welcome to our online viewers. On Facebook, we ask that you like, comment, and share. On YouTube, we ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. And for our online viewers, as far as website, it's going to be at anewdayfellowship.org. All right. I will be your host tonight, LaShavia Little. I'm filling in for the renowned Dr. Robert Beeman, who actually is the pastor of a New Day Fellowship. So we welcome you all to be here. And tonight is going to be another special night. And with those likes, I plan on taking over our podcast on Wednesday nights, okay? So we need all those likes we can get. But tonight we have none other than Miss Terris Goodwin. They're clapping right now.
Yes. And also here is my friend Brandy Byrd. So we have two local candidates in the house.
Okay. So as you notice right now, we have Brandy Byrd and Terris Goodwin. We're just going to be talking about a little bit of politics, all right, and what's happening and what seat they're running for. So Terris, we're going to start with you. What seat are you running for, actually?
Yeah, so I'm running for Bell County Commissioner, Precinct 3.
Okay.
Yeah, and so Precinct 3 covers Temple is the biggest city in that realm, and then we also have Rogers, Troy, and Moffett. So you're kind of looking at eastern Bell County.
Okay. That's pretty wide. It's pretty wide area.
Yes, definitely is, and a very diverse subsection of Bell County.
So what made you, if I may ask, what made you say, you know what, I want to run for this particular seat?
Yeah, sure. So, I actually didn't grow up thinking I wanted to get into politics. But I am somebody who's a product of this community. I have, felt the call to serve all of my life, and that's kind of led me to nursing, which I've done for over a decade now here locally, but also serving in different ways with different nonprofits and really addressing some different community needs. And, throughout doing that work and during that time, I really recognized the need for strong leadership and leadership that prioritized some of the perspectives and community concerns that a large portion of us share.
Yes.
And so, I realized that politics, although not my first choice in life, was the way to go.
Okay. Wow, politics. I mean, we just hear so much as it relates to that, and we don't know who to vote for, and it's so much just coming at us as voters. We just really don't know. So tonight, if you wouldn't mind, just let people know, hey, this is why. When you enter your ballot, you should vote for me. This is what I stand for. This is what I plan on doing for you. This is what it means to vote for Terris Goodwin.
Yeah, sure. I think one of the most important things to touch on is local elections in general.
Okay.
There oftentimes around election season, you hear about our presidential races,
right,
state and federal races. And while those are important and extremely popular in the news and, oftentimes what motivates people to show up and vote, I would say that our local elections are even more important. And we like to say the further down on the ballot you go, the closer to home it hits you. And so the decisions made at the local level, think your county, your city council, those decisions impact you sometimes the next day. And so one, I just really wanted to emphasize that, and that these local elections do matter. And now, secondly, what commissioners do. A big piece is educating everybody on what commissioners do, because, it's not well known. And honestly, you don't learn it in school, or maybe I did, and maybe I've just, I've slept a few nights between then. But, the commissioners, we have a lot of impact on our day-to-day lives. Think your property tax rates, which ends up being how much your mortgage is if you own a home, or what's passed down to you as a renter. Think our indigent health care program, which provides health care services to those who could not otherwise provide it for themselves. That is something that we as taxpayers fund and the commissioners oversee.
Okay.
Think our jails, our criminal justice system, the elections. So you can see our roads and infrastructure. There's definitely a wide range of things that commissioners do, and that kind of touch every portion of your life. So what I would want to bring to this position and why I'm here and running. Here we go. Sorry. Why I am here and running is because I want to bring the values that I hold as a mom, a nurse, a community advocate, and proud member of this community and a product of this community. I want to bring that to this role. You know, when you think of nurses, you think of advocacy. We advocate for our patients, and right. Bell County citizens would be my number one patient. That's who I'm serving. We empower our patients, so want to empower this community. And then collaborate, right? Your nurses collaborate with the medical team. Well, your commissioner should collaborate with nonprofits, businesses, other organizations, and stakeholders to really ensure that the decisions we make are in everyone's best interest. And so I not only want to bring those values of who I am and what I stand for to this role, but I also want to take a closer look at things like our local government and making sure that it's efficient. So bringing our local government at the county level into, 2024. You hear about red tape and mm-hmm. The inefficiencies in systems. So I really want to identify and root out some of those. I want us to prioritize technology, and I want us to look to other counties who are innovators, and I want us to do the same. And, I love Temple. I bleed blue. I'm a Wildcat, right? And so I'm a little biased, but I really think the city of Temple does a great job of strategic planning, engaging their community and stakeholders. Right. And, I want us to do the same at the county level. So that efficient local government. I want us to have safe and healthy communities. So I want us to invest in community programs that improve the quality of life for everybody in Bell County, even those who might be experiencing homelessness or behavioral issues, substance abuse concerns, because at the end of the day, their problems are our problems. Yes. And if we can invest creatively and partner with these great organizations doing the work, then we can see that positive impact today and prevent down the line some of the issues that come if we don't address it, right? And then lastly, we have our smart and sustainable growth. Okay. So we know we're growing. We are growing rapidly. We've all felt it, You could have, I remember looking out of the hospital window at Scott and White into fields and fields of grass. And now you stand up there and you see a whole nother city, and Temple and Belton are touching, and it's just this sprawling, growing community. And in fact, we've outpaced the growth of Texas. And people are coming here in droves. But those people, they aren't bringing their water, their electricity, right? The roads. So we're really having to look forward and make sure that our infrastructure can sustain that growth and not only, accommodate for that growth and the needs of those coming, but also preserve the quality of life for those here. And so, really just putting our minds into the future, being innovative, and working hard to make Bell County a place where everyone can thrive.
Wow, did y'all catch all of that?
Sorry, it's a mouthful. One thing I like to talk. My daughter says I have TTM. It's called talk too much.
That's all right. Hey, we can always rewind it back and listen over and over again to for that replay to make sure that, hey, I got a better understanding of everything that you're running for, okay, and the difference you want to make for generations to come, not just right now, for generations as well. All right, so let's take a pause for a minute, and let's come to you, Brandy. Talk to us a little bit about you.
All right, my name is Brandy L.L. Byrd, and I'm running for Bell County Tax Assessor. I'm a veteran, I'm a mom, and I'm originally from out of Houston, Texas, but I've been here, I retired, and I'm here for like the last 17 years. And what got me interested in the tax assessor's office is the voter apathy here that we have in Bell County. As of the last primary, less than 1% of the population votes, and that is very problematic. Wow. And so part of my campaign or my platform is talking about civic engagement and why it's important. And one of the reasons why it is important is because you have a term called allocation of resources. It's a big word to say, hey, we need to know where to put the money. And if you have people in your local leaders that don't know where to allocate resources, where to put these funds, then, and based on just their peer group, that's very problematic, and it leaves a whole other range of diverse community out there, and that's a problem. Another thing, when we have these offices that open up, so for instance, tax assessor, collector, or county commissioner, nobody has been running against these people. And that's a huge problem. I had one person, he sits on one of the school boards, And what he said, and it's well known, is that, well, hey, well, I hope nobody ran against you, because most of the time, most people don't run against each other, yes. And then also the other thing is, your elected officials should be working for you. They should be accessible. You should be able to call, comment, hey, this is what I see or what I think. We need that for healthy government, because the point that we're at in society now is a society ill. And some of the things that we've been having some breakdown in government. And I'm retirement age. I look old. I'm older than what I look. So when I go to the other side of the world for 6 months of summer, and I come back here to America, I need a place to come back to. And, one of the things I believe in is like, well, what can I do and what can I change? And, I saw what was up there, and I said, what, I've had 33 years in finance and accounting. I started in the United States Coast Guard in vessel documentation, and what that is licensing on a federal level for boats.
Wow.
And it's so funny, you always wonder, well, what am I doing today, and how is that going to affect me later on in my career? Right? And to come down as tax assessor, and what the tax assessor does there, and it's a play on words, and I like to tell jokes. I'm like the Texas Railroad Commission. They have nothing to do with railroads. They work with energy. I have nothing to do with taxes. And then that's a per se, because as of December, I became an actual voting member when I win on the tax advisory board. And when I go out and I talk to people, they're very interested in property taxes. And I'm not one to, step back and say, well, oh, I don't deal with that. Don't talk to me about that. That's not my job. No, it is. If that's something you're interested in, how can I bring that to you? And so one of the things that I'm going to do is pair up with the county assessors, and essentially they can go around the county. We can go around. We're going together continuously. And they're going to talk about property taxes, and I'm going to talk about vehicle registration and the funds that I will be managing.
All right.
So yes, I like to bring it.
So this question, thank you for that. This question is going to be for both of you all. In the politics, you generally have 50% who will accept and enjoy what you bring to the table, and the other 50% is like, I can't stand you. I don't like you, and why are you even doing this? So how do you feel as though you're able to handle that?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I love it. I love engagement. Please tell me I'm wrong, and tell me why. What's your reasoning? Are you just saying it because you're just disgruntled? Or do you want some type of engagement? Or, well, let's talk about that, because I can't have all the right answers. And I'm just one person. I'm limited on I have a vast experience, but I only have 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs. I can only do so much as one person. And everybody has their own experiences, and they see the world completely different than me. So please tell me, no, Ms. Byrd, I don't agree with that. And, I ask that, hey, have some reasoning so I can go back and research and, figure out what it is you're saying, and we can have a discussion on this. And if I can make things better, then hey, yeah, please. I don't want yes people. Right. I don't like that.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, no, and I agree, and I think this goes 2 ways, because you have the people who you're serving who aren't always going to have the same lived experience and viewpoint, and I firmly believe that people, their mindset and their viewpoints on certain things are shaped by their life experience, their lived experience, their knowledge at the time, right? And so the people, when they come, and I will have an open door, I still to this day right now have an open door policy, and again, bring it back to nursing. When you're taking care of somebody for 12 hours in your shift, you listen to everything, and with the smile on your face, because it's all important, right? And the role of your government officials and leaders is to listen and to hear you, but also to educate as well. So my favorite quote is, I'm always learning. I'm always learning from people, my peers, everything I take in around me. But also, I'm hoping that they too will learn when presented with the education and some of the facts. And I think there's a big barrier with some of that educational piece that exists. And then the second part is with your peers or my peers when elected on the commissioner's court, right? We do have to identify with the party. This is the lowest level race that you identify. And so oftentimes you see this hyper partisanship, right? And we see this play out at the state, national level where, at the end of the day, the people get lost in the sauce because I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I'm a this, I'm a that. And those differing viewpoints are going so head to head, and we're digging our heels in, that the people aren't served. And so at the local level on the court, I'm going to be that person who works with the quote unquote other side. But honestly, I don't think there is a side, because if our goal is the people and serving them the best that we can, then there isn't a side. We're on the side of the people. And that's something that I can say is currently lacking on our commissioner's court, and something that I will be happy to bring.
Let me say something real quick, and then that's part of the societal ills that I was talking about. The people's business is not getting done, not on the local, not on the federal level, and not on the state level. I talk about something called power of the purse, and what it is whoever holds the purse holds the power. Our state is sitting on 31 billion of your taxpayer dollars, and you're wondering, like, hey, well, why isn't this in the school, or why are the teachers this, or why is that? Because they're not funding things on purpose, and most people aren't aware of that. And I like to say that, hey, you're paying taxes, but you're not getting the things you paid for. And so I want to bring awareness to that. And again, that's part of that societal ills, is that the people's business is not getting done. And that's very problematic.
So if things been done for quite a while, let's say, and then now you coming and you shaking up things, that could be extremely challenging, right, for you, based upon how things was going for so long, and some people have been very comfortable with that. And so your mission right now is, like, we just want to serve the people. We want to do what's right for the people. We want to implement certain things that's going to help us in the future. That's a huge task. I mean, it sounds great, right? It sounds wonderful, but that's a really huge task to take on with the pressure that I can imagine is going to be coming your direction. Let's say you win the seat. Now you have to actually do right, and if you have some opposition that's preventing you from doing certain things that you said you want to do, now you have the people who didn't want you in the office in the first place, and I see saying you're not getting this done, you're not getting that done. Again, lacking of education, not understanding that there are some barriers that you're trying to get over to make it happen. So, wow.
Yeah, no, and that's a great point, because one of the reasons that made me say, okay, yes, I will run for this position specifically, because I always thought, I'll get involved. I love my city, and it's what's comfortable with me. I have the connections and relationships here. But what made me say, you know what, this seat for county commissioner is coming open and I'm going to go for it, is because there's something, Robert's Rules of Order. If there's a motion, it has to be seconded. And if it's not seconded, it dies. Meaning, if the public is there waiting to talk about this topic, and in this instance, it was removing the Confederate monument. All these people who had taken times out of their busy lives and their work and their families to come and talk and express why they felt that this statue should be removed in 2024. One commissioner motioned, no second, it died on the floor. So the will of the people, like she said, was not done. It wasn't heard. And so, to your point, yes, I'm only one person. When elected, there are 4 county commissioners and a judge, and that is state law across the counties in Texas. Mm-hmm. And so at the end of the day, I can bring my vision and the vision of the people and the goals of the people there. And hopefully, I know what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to dig my heels in, and I'm not going to make enemies. I'm going to try to remind people we can find solutions where everyone wins, right? And so we can get that second from across the aisle. We can make progress. And hopefully I can help the other commissioners understand that in 2024, we can't do the bare minimum. And one of our current commissioners has said and proudly stated, we do the bare minimum at the county commissioner's court of what state law requires. And that might have worked 30 years ago when we were a rural county, but it's not going to work when we're at pushing 400,000 people in Bell County. We have to look forward. We have to be innovative. And, whether you like it or not, if we don't address it today, we're going to have to address it a few years from now.
Right.
And again, look to those who have done it. Look to the city of Temple. We're not perfect, the city of the Temple government, but they are innovative. They are looking forward. They are
Absolutely.
Engaging the community.
Yes.
So that's what we got to do.
We love Temple. Well, we love temple. Okay, so I would like for you all, just one at a time, to something that you have that you want to really say actually to the people that you think would be your message to them outside of the questions that I'm asking.
Okay, so my message to the people is we need you to have healthy, collaborative government. Please go to the Secretary of State website if you don't know who to vote on. You can call me personally. Let me tell you my phone number is 254-818-8252, and I can tell you who's on the ticket, why I'm going to vote for them, and then I can talk about their platform. I can two-way call them. But we need you guys to come out and vote, because let me tell you, being working in the world of finance and accounting for 33 years, I can definitely tell you your vote does count. They pay billions of dollars just for you to say, well, I don't feel my vote doesn't count. You know, I don't feel like any changes are happening. That's what voter suppression is. That's that feeling that you get. And we need everybody to come out and participate. October 7th is the last day to register to vote. I'm a VDR. Are you a VDR? Terris, we have like 100-something VDRs. We can get you registered to vote. But we need mass participation, and not just, on, this big election, on all the elections. It's constant. Let me tell you, it's constant. And not only just voting, we actually need people to come in and run for offices, volunteer. The elections, most people that run the elections, these men and women are like in their late 70s, early 80s. In the elections department, they work all year, and it's volunteer basis. We need your help, and it's so serious. And that's what I want to say. We need you. Come on.
All right, there it is. We need you. We need you. Get up out your seat. Get up and go ahead and be part of what's happening in your community. All right, yeah. Terris?
So I want you to close your eyes and think about HEB. You're going on your grocery trip to HEB. And look around HEB. What do those people look like? They are all ages, shapes, sizes, colors, religious beliefs, all types of varying and diverse values and perspectives. And I want you to go look at... Open your eyes.
Okay.
Go Google. All right, sorry. Go Google your county commissioner's court. Go Google your tax assessor. Go Google all of these positions. And I ask yourself, does that look like your HEB or your Walmart? And now I know there's this big thing and this big push about a DEI hire. Oh, well, they only want to vote for her because she's a woman or this or that. And I'll tell you, I would be the first woman elected to this position, and I'm proud of that. I would be the first healthcare professional elected to this. But with that comes that lived experience, that perspective. And that perspective of all those people in HEB is just as important as the perspective that's represented currently on the commissioner's court and all those other places, right? And so it is important that we elect leaders who live and look and share some of the same values as us. And so think about that too when you're going to Google these people and you're ready to vote. And I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. Before I ever thought I was running for office, I founded Wake Up Temple, and one of the things we do is promote civic engagement, voter education, registration. We never told people who to vote for. We have a nonpartisan voter guide out now. But really, you ask yourself, you do your research, you look, do those values align with mine? Does their vision for our community align with mine? And I'll tell you, my vision for our community is one where everyone thrives and not where we are building bigger jails and bringing in, so we brought down COVID money, okay? The state gave us that. And we used $63 million of the 70 towards this jail expansion, but not to where, we did need a bit of an expansion, growth, right? And we were shipping inmates out, putting a burden on taxpayers. But we built it so big with the mindset and the understanding that we would bring inmates from other counties and make money off of them. Instead of what other counties did, which was invest in programs that kept people out of jail, invest in mental health, invest in rental assistance, affordable housing, and things like that. And not only did we have those implications right then and there, they asked for more money because we needed, with any build outs, there's unexpected costs. So we're up to almost $100 million now in what we've spent. And I'll tell you, your tax rate went up 3.2 cents. And the sole reason that tax rate went up, our county judge, you can go, it's on record. I was one of 2 people there for the budgetary hearing, and it was due to public safety. Well, the public safety was 66 new jailers to accommodate for those inmates we're bringing out and making money off of. It was to account for the increased food and medical need from those inmates we're making money off of. And so that cost was passed down to us. And I have a really hard time believing the people that I know and I work with day in and day out as a nurse or in the community in these organizations, that they want their taxpayers' money to be going to building these bigger jails. They would instead want to invest in a community and programs where we keep people out and keep us all happy, healthy, and safe.
So, and also what's happening is when you look at the county budget, it's online, everything's online. You go there, you pull the budget, you're like, man, why am I paying so much? Where is all this money filtering down? So the commissioner's court is where all the money for the county comes from, and it's filtered down in all these little departments and sections and stuff, everybody's office. And so when you look, most of Bell County's budget is court. So then you got to say, well, man, is it that much crime here? Now, remember, I'm from Houston. I'm from the inner city. No, I wouldn't been here 17 years if it was like that. So then you go and you investigate some more what's going on. And we have a person that's running for county attorney, Michelle Cummings, and she works in the court system. And she says, Brandy, those cases are like 10 years old. So these people are sitting on cases. They're not doing, again, you're paying for stuff you're not getting. But they're sitting on these cases. And that's why our court system is so bloated and why we're paying so much money. We're paying for court. That's where all your money's going, for court and for jail. That's horrible.
Okay.
That's horrible.
So we ask that, hey, you online, you go ahead and Google. You heard the word, go ahead and Google and fact check and make sure that everything that's been said tonight is actually, correct. All right, I'm just moderating and I'm allowing, our people that's running for offices to be able to speak and share, what they feel for the people. Okay. Now, I do want to ask, do we have any questions online right now? Any questions online? And those that are at home, you cannot see, but it's a lot going on in here, and I'm asking some questions in here too. Okay. So, any questions online first?
And while we're looking for those questions, I want to give you the sources of some of our information. All of this is available on the Bell County government website. So please go there. There you will see your budget. You'll see the tax rate hearing documents. And in addition to Googling us and our websites, Facebook and Instagram are our friends, or my friend. I'll speak for myself. Facebook is free. And I'm showing my age and generation, but that's where you can get a better glimpse into a lot of the work that we do as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm on all the things. All of
You
them.
on TikTok?
Yes.
Oh, man. One day.
Your daughter should have had you on it. Yes, but I like, and I love the people, and I like being immersed with the people and seeing what they have to say. And I enjoy healthy collaborative government. That's what's missing in our world, because it's like finance and accounting is like a two-headed coin, right? Accounting is more regimented regulations. You have to do it this way. Finance is like very free and floating, right?
Okay.
But the two have to work together. And again, like with our county government and our federal government, we have to work with each other because the people's business has to get done. So like right now, they haven't passed a budget yet in the federal government, and because people get so tied up on Republican or Democrat or independent or all this other stuff, and I like to say, it's not a two-party system or a party system. It's really the one party that we're working against, and it's really the ultra-rich, the corporations, and, the billionaires against the working class. That's really what's really harming us.
Okay, well, I want you to know real quick that we want all the big corporations to sponsor us. Sponsor us, okay, the big corporations, all right?
Give back, right?
If they're doing the right thing, for me,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
We're doing
absolutely.
the right thing.
So let me go in the audience here and see if we have any questions out in the audience. We got about 2 more minutes. Any questions out in the audience? Any questions? Okay, no. They're shaking their head, no. No.
You?
Okay, all right.
Any young people in the
Any
back
questions?
want to ask some questions?
Yeah.
Come on, it's your world. I like to say that the children are the future and the present walking.
Wow. Yes, the
Yeah,
present
we have to
walking.
take care of them.
Absolutely.
Like that.
And well, I'll ask you, what if your water turned, if you turned your faucet and nothing came out, would you wait until work was over? Would you wait, or would you call immediately to get your water turned on, back on? Immediately? Okay, cool, right? Well, water is one of the other issues that we're facing, and that's my opponent's main issue. But I will tell you, I'm proud to say that our commissioners, with some help from the state,
Yes.
are actually looking forward and addressing that. So when you hear
good.
some fear mongering about the lack of water, while yes, it's important and it's a priority, know that we are kind of looking forward to plans.
All right.
And then, one more thing, I'm so sorry. One more thing, and I worked on the Texas Water Development Board for 2 years. And so what the Texas Water Development Board is, they're the ones that fund water projects for the different municipalities in Texas. And I like to say I was a budget analyst, and I know where all the dirty secrets are for the municipalities. So, if you have any questions or anything, I definitely can, help out with that, Terris.
All right, sounds good. Well, again, this is our Wednesday's podcast. I am LaShavia Little. I am hosting tonight. Go ahead, give me all the likes, the love, all of that, so I can ask Dr. Beeman to let me be present every Wednesday. We're trying to make that happen for you guys. So before we leave, we love to close out in prayer. So one of y'all like to take that? Oh, Terris Goodwin is going to close us out in prayer.
Hey, you offered, I'll take it.
All right.
Heavenly Father, thank everybody for being here, and thank you for being here through them, and for working through us,
Yes.
through those of us sitting here in these chairs, those of us in the audience, in living out your will, in loving our neighbors, serving our neighbors, and coming together to make our community the best that it can be, through you and for you.
Yes.
In your name, amen.
In Jesus'
In his
name,
name, amen. All right. Thank you very much. Thank y'all very much.